Last best of three for today in the round of 16 games. Eyeballers taking on Apex. Cole, me and you were just talking before we went live, and we were saying that this is a really interesting match because you kind of got two teams that can deliver a lot of variance on the server. And I think that's kind of the best way to describe both Apex and the Eyeballers.
Yeah, we're getting some high variance Counter-Strike right now. I'm going to have a very difficult time coming into this one, kind of predicting a victor. Although, coming into this playoffs event, Apex probably feeling a little bit of confidence. They've taken down Endpoint, they've taken down LDLC, they've taken down Copenhagen Flames. Meanwhile, Eyeballers, rather, they have come through with some nice results, right? They've gotten some good victories underneath their belt, but they've also taken some, losses. 3-2 in that Swiss stage. Of course, Apex, just to reiterate, one of our invited teams coming into this one. So there's a huge swing in momentum between these two rosters here. Whereas Apex are coming into this one probably feeling confident. I think Eyeballers maybe a little bit less so. But like you said, the variance that we can get, sometimes the lows that we see out of Apex are very evident when they're not hitting the shots on the server. Then they can struggle to arrive entirely. But this is going to be my first time casting them with the new IGL here coming through in Kixon. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table, right? Obviously, again, they've come through with some high highs this year. They've been able to do a lot of damage. They've proven themselves. But I felt like at the end of last year, this team was looking very strong. And they haven't been able to keep up that form completely. Obviously, I've undergone a little bit of changes with that swap that I just mentioned. But now I think they're looking to build up back into that ramp into what they were able to deliver at the end of last year. And the constantly playing out these officials, constantly playing out games, it's going to get them there for sure in time.
Yeah, look, it's a really interesting one because for me, you've got individuals that are really good on this Apex side. Nork, JChem, JL, a very strong trio of players you expect to deliver a lot more than they have. Apex, when this roster signed, when it first came together, everyone was like, oh my god, these guys look really good. This is definitely a team to watch out for. This will be a team maybe even pushing for some qualifier spots for tier 1 events. And without being rude, without being disrespectful, the project has, for the by and large, not lived up to those expectations. Kixon comes in, and this will also be my first time kind of reviewing it. Kixon, for me, ever since he's come into Apex, he's really struggled to find individual form, and that's fair enough because he's now trying to juggle pieces. I think this might also be his first international roster move, so he's had to go from speaking one language to now obviously conversing in English. So that's a bit interesting for me as well. A lot of things to consider on this Apex side. For Eyeballers, it's interesting because Eyeballers are actually kind of on the up right now. Ever since Pepsor joined this squad, he felt like the missing piece that kind of glues all of Eyeballers together. He's been playing really well, but also ever since he's come in, JW has had a rise to resurgence on this team, was the highest rated player for this roster for quite a while. I'm not sure if that's changed over the last couple of weeks since I last saw them play, but was certainly up there last time I casted them. Feels like a lot more fluid in his movements and decision making. Flasher is always a very capable pair of hands. For me, the weak link sometimes is Sapek and Shine because, again, very much this is going to be a very consistent theme we have here, Cole. It's very high highs, very low lows. And we go into the veto, and there's a punish here. I think Apex could and should, if they can, pick Ancient because that is a map that is not good at the moment for the Eyeballers, and Apex have been performing very well. They do like to pick it a lot. I think that is a very obvious punish moving into this map pool.
Yeah, it's always been an interesting bit of liability. I've seen Eyeballers play on this map again underneath some different iterations, but I feel like they didn't have the full strength. They were always trying to play it out, Eyeballers, and sometimes they would be able to deliver. But I'm interested to see what that would shape up to be here. Like you said, though, I think Pepsor, he's been a huge injection of like, kind of just firepower and confidence here. Like you said here, maybe JW has felt the ability to get unleashed a little bit more because of that. But take a look at those vetoes here, and we don't get Ancient actually banned out by Eyeballers there in the second phase. And Apex prioritizing Anubis, which has been a map that they have building into. We were talking about many of the different Anubis teams right now. and Tier 2 Counter-Strike. Apeks is definitely one of them, so I'm excited to see this played out by them.
Yeah, look, I see where they're coming from to a certain extent. The Anubis pick, yeah, does actually make sense for Apeks, but I feel like they could have floated that one through because eyeballers are really happy to play Anubis. It's one of the ones that definitely could have floated through as that decider. I think Ancient was the pick here. I'm gonna be real. But Overpass coming through for Eyeballers. That one again is 50-50. Eyeballers have played it 10 times more than the Apeks boys, though, in the last 3 months. Eyeballers have been grinding officials, man. Like they've been playing so many games on HLTV, so they've got a lot of confidence. And what's really interesting is it's going to be a very similar sample size because Apeks have been doing the same. They're currently on a 3-match winning streak in terms of your best of 3 series. Eyeballers, they're up and down. In terms of best of 3s, they're actually undefeated in their last 3 as well. But the caliber of opposition, I think, is a little bit lesser than Apeks, who have taken down, as you mentioned, Flames, Endpoint, LDLC. In terms of predictions, where are you landing on this one?
So it's tough to say here. I was kind of joking about the beginning here, but the maps, the vetoes here, I think could kind of lend into a 3-map series, depending on what actually eyeballers look on Anubis, because Anubis coming out as our first map. T-side starts here. I think partially one of the strong suits here coming through from the side of Apeks is that they're going to have some decent actually CT sides on this map, which is a bit rare considering what we've seen as of recent, right? A lot of T-side affairs taking place on this one. So depending on what we get out of eyeballers on their T side, maybe they could actually do some damage on the map pick here of Apeks, because they do have that depth, they do have that strength. But Overpass, I think it could go any way, right? There's a chance for Apeks to give a 2-0 to show up on that CT side, to immediately start to deliver on eyeballers map pick. But if they don't do that, then we're going to a 3rd map, I would imagine, and that would be interesting to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. And what's really interesting is Anubis, yeah, it should be a T-sided affair. I saw a game yesterday in Central Europe. It was Partizan taking on AGO. Partizan had a 12-3 CT side on Anubis.
Oh, wow.
And then AGO swapped over to the CT side, and they won 6 in a row. It was mental. It kind of bent my mind against everything I knew or thought I knew about this game. And I bring that up because Anubis, we're still kind of finding our feet with it all. It does look to be a T-sided map. You're right. You've got rotations that are incredibly long, and you've got a lot of different positions where you can kind of split in as that T side. It reminds me a lot of Mirage in the sense where if you kind of liken Connector or Mirage to the water on Anubis, I feel like that can kind of, you can draw some parallels with that. But the game is live. We can jump into Anubis anyway. We can have more of a conversation piece because it's been a while since you and I casted together, Carl. I don't think we've actually seen an Anubis together. So I'm excited to kind of pick your brains as we work our way through.
Anubis is an interesting one. I was talking to someone about this yesterday, but I think the reason it's so T-sided is partially the mid rotations, like you had said, it's very far removed, but also because of the way that the CT side is able to open up picks. There's not a lot of like good aggressive movements that you can make. The defaulting that you can do on this map on the T side is so incredibly strong that there's no like, oh, I can like flash up short on like say an Ancient and get an opening pick like that from mid control or anything like that. It's so difficult and it requires so much emphasis here. But 2 dualies, 4 guns on this A defense. We'll see what they're able to deliver here as they contact on in. This is perfect for the dualies, and the flash being even better. They are all falling to the dualies. 4 guns firing down range. And this is an excellent start here for eyeballers. Even more flashes come through. Kicks in. He's going to get overrun here. He has no armor. And Stika was trying to hold off flanks, but usually when you're holding off flanks, you have to have some sort of entry prowess. They had none of it. And eyeballers, they start things off incredibly.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff, and it all comes from a bait and switch. Flashbang from Shine was instrumental in that because I feel like if Flasher goes dry, you've got 4 Glocks just staring at you. It's inevitable. So led with the utility, a perfect supporting cast, eyeballers look dominant. That's flawless to kick off the pistol on the CT side. Bear in mind, they chose to start on the defense as well.
Yeah, they did. It's a bit surprising. That's what, a huge change in what everyone else does is to start off on that T side. Almost always picked into it. We saw that a lot over with Eternal Fire. It was what I felt like was one of the first times I've seen a team just consistently pick T side. Was at that land from them. It ended up working for them quite nicely, but after that, I felt like it was becoming increasingly popular. Maybe just a shift in some of the meta. So there's 1x bet odds there. I think they changed after the veto here in that 2-0 start maybe because it was a little bit more favored for Apeks, but some more faith being put in eyeballers here, it seems.
Yeah, 2 rounds, no kills for Apeks. Which isn't ideal, but it's not something you see every day, so it's worth bringing it up when it happens. Shine, deep nade. Perfect onto J-Chem. Have that. Damn.
Nice crispy. 48 HP plucked off of him. That's not a fun way to kick off the first gun round, just already halved. This is bold here. Again, they just take a very fast approach. And Shine this time left with only an MP9. And you can see how hard he's trying to fight for this control, but it's just not the right weapon for the job to land any kills just yet. He's going to have to concede that site.
Yeah, gotta wait for your teammates to rotate in with utility. I like this from Apeks there. Trying to get a bit more aggressive here. Kixon could potentially save off Shine. JW, though, has found J-Chem. And that opens up opportunities now for the CT side to try and crunch back over. Utility raining in. Flusher even takes out his teammate.
Oh, but here's where the post plants become so strong. Stiko with 2 kills here. A third. Stiko goes down with so much impact here. And bomb is planted for knock. He doesn't even let him tap it. He just swings. And they're able to finish the job. Now, that was a bonus round. And I could see many different opportunities where if Shine had a gun, it wouldn't have been as strong in the post plant. It wouldn't have been a 5v5. It could have been like a 3v5 even with the fights that he was able to get away with and the flashes that he was throwing for himself. So the fact that, you know, that is how we kick things off here. It's still a pretty good looking around. It doesn't go their way, but I saw some depth there. I saw some opportunities that eyeballers could have capitalized if the weaponry was there. And now they have the weaponry in Shine's hand. And JW as well. Glass cannoning things here.
Well, imagine if Flusher doesn't kill Pepsor. Like, that's 2 versus 1 potentially on the bomb site. There's so many different opportunities that eyeballers could have had. This time, Flusher with the MP9 is trying to take a lot of space out towards mid, but he's been completely crunched upon. The molly that he deployed, they actually get ahead of it. That's so much control for Apeks, and they are really utilizing the space. Look at them all run in. Eyeballers, one by one, marching towards middle, and they are being cut down to size.
Taking this A bomb site by storm right now in these last couple of rounds. Feels like they've just targeted this every round outside of middle. In the second round, where they just had Glocks. But it's not secured just yet. I was kind of counting them out of this one. There's an interesting flank formulating of 2 players here that could cause concern. Okay, never mind. They call it. I was going to say, you know, they have some good space here, but they don't have any kits. So that's a real discouragement, I'd imagine. And Apeks going to bounce back with 2 in return.
And what's been good about these Apeks rounds is they've been very direct. It's not been a case of prodding and probing, trying to work out things. Instead, to mitigate kind of what you were saying at the start of this map, it's, okay, well, we can't find potentially these picks early, eyeballers, so we're going to just completely make them feel even more uncomfortable by just applying pressure and moving as a complete unit. We've had 4 out towards A on a contact. We've now had 4 in towards middle on a split. What's next? Well, JW gets completely overwhelmed in middle. Flusher nearly hits the same fate.
Look at that HE that was tossed in from Kixon as well. Did some beautiful damage there. We'll see what they do to try and open up proceedings. Kixon will stand by towards this B side. This is what I mean when the defaulting so strong, though. You can see how they're able to wait for that aggression. It's hard for them to open up things, but Pepser continues to press it in, and we'll press the advantage. Is it going to be retrieved? And an op over towards A. Now I think he's just been smoked off here. I'm not sure where that's going to land. Actually, mid-sight. Being smoked off. There's still plenty of vision, but Flusha caught in a slight bit of transition. Caught asleep at the wheel, it seemed, and ops recovered from Stiko. Things should be stabilizing here soon. And again, Pepser and Shine probably best just to hold on.
Yeah, was that the intention of the smoke? To just land a little bit funky, or was it just misplaced? It looks like the lineup was potentially for heaven, and it just didn't land. It caught and clipped, so it landed its way in towards mid-sight. Regardless, Apeks, that one was much more of a default. Eyeballers with limited weaponry, firepower, want to go searching, want to go hunting. JW, you can see how proactive he wanted to be, but just gets completely blindsided. In fact, just doesn't even see his opponents. Really well played from the Apeks boys. Pepsor will at least hold on to his AK, and Shine will bring through an M4.
It's a good round put together right there. Apeks taking a lead off the back of it. Here's where the big investment comes back into play. Everything at their disposal. No missing pieces here. I guess outside of Flush, he still has an MP9. See what they can do here. Shine has been targeted, it seems, in some of the defaulting here. So he's going to need to level up his performance if this continues to be a trend. Apeks are huddling out. I mean, they don't have a default. It's everyone that's lining in towards A. Meantime, eyeballers are taking some space elsewhere, which can line up to be pretty promising. They're pushed past B main. Going to take some decent space, but they're already executing in.
And look at the control. There's just been adopted, but Flusher on the MP9. Feels like he's a god with this weapon at times, honestly. J-Chem, searching, Flusher, removes him. That's such a good opportunity now for Eyeballers to try and retake this.
Kickson gonna walk right into the crosshair. Doesn't die, though. And he hasn't fallen. He will get best in tow anyways. He couldn't fall. It's gonna be Knock that needs to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this round here. Flashed off the angle, though. Smoke's on top of the bomb. Molly's leaning in. And it's going to make the round near impossible to clutch out. I think they know it. Not going to be too interested in just popping off spamming a 2-on-4 there. Knock and Stiko, they both line up for Savage, and they will close it out. Tied up at 3s. And that's a really good retake right there brought together. Flusha, like you said, with the MP9, I said there was no missing pieces outside of Flusha's MP9. Well,
No.
He was just another element there. He was just as effective as the rest.
I just feel like sometimes, like, you with the Eyeballers squad, it's like Flusher, you give him an MP9, he treats that thing like it is an M4. It's the same with JW and the Mag 7. I don't know what it is. I honestly cannot give you a really insightful point, but something about those guys and those weapons, it just is the perfect combination. They somehow make it work. I cannot believe that the audacity of Flusher just to swing onto J-Chem there as well. Because J-Chem's off angle looks so good. And he just gets melted.
Yeah, so strong. With whatever you can give him, he'll make it do. This time it's more of a defaulting presence, but that's one way to open up proceedings right there. They catch JL over towards the E-box aggression right there, and it's a huge man advantage. I said one thing that's very difficult to do for the CT side is to find those opening picks. They're able to put it into a 5v4 here early on. Some utility damage pressuring back, and a lot of that utility is actually already popped off the pockets of Shine over towards A, but
wow,
they're folding this round over right now. I don't know where these picks are going on. It looks like over towards B with a little bit of aggression. But things are going just fine for Eyeballers, and they're able to drop the bomb as well.
Yeah, Pepsil just literally walks out the choke point at B main, and he's standing pretty much where JW is right now, and he just gets 2 headshots. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. See you next round, guys. JW can't quite adjust to that flick. They were hanging about, though. Obviously, would love to keep hold of the bomb. Another flashbang. J-Kemp puts him out of his misery. 35 seconds left, and is a 2 versus 4 that feels very much out of the realms of possibility. Steeko just doing his janitor duties, throws the AWP out the map because it is expensive, and these rounds have been quite back and forth, and you don't want to bring that forward.
You'll be able to find one on the way out. But there's no time to run in towards anywhere. And not even B at this point, where the bomb site is huddled in. And Eyeballers will reclaim the lead rather quickly. Quicker than Apeks would have liked to concede. AK is maintained. Op, not so much, but that can be reinvested here, so no work there. Or no worries there. And it's going to be pretty effective here. For Eyeballers a chance, and the way that they're finding these advantages as well is super promising. I like the aggressive movements being made. I like some of the different elements that they're tossing on in, and force buy around these saved guns could be a way to even further extend your advantage here. Oh, nice HE there. I love those ones. Tossed in from the A side there. 50 damage again, chunked off of another player.
It's just got the perfect little arc, doesn't it? It just lands perfectly on the steps, and it's like, what can you realistically do about that? Because it's such a common position to contest for not only dark but window. So rough. It's so cool. Like the map is barely, I think it's coming up for barely 3 months old now, and we've still got all of these cool little smokes, these little grenade gimmicks been discovered. The scene is thriving, and it's just fantastic to watch.
It's a good map. I'm a big fan. Thinking of adding it to the map pool here soon. I've been very interested in doing so as aggression comes through. Jacob, he's caught. Oh, Shine just in no man's land right there with utility out. That is a nice shot from Steeko. And this time around, a little bit less proactivity, more huddled in towards the bomb sites, and you can see how far Apeks was able to take that advantage. Full mid control, quick headshot comes through from Jacob, who found the opening, and then poor Shine. Not a lot that he can say about that round from that point forward here. JW though.
JW, yeah.
There's no way he clears this. He tried. That was a nice attempt there. JW not getting out of this one. I think players are becoming more used to that angle. It feels like it's like unlosable right there, but he actually was kind of aware.
Fair play to even clear it. All right. Really back and forth to kick things off. And this is what we expected. I'm also pleased to hear you're adding Anubis to the map pool. It is very fun to play. I think it's because we're still kind of in that limbo of not really knowing what to expect, so everyone just kind of panics at the same time, and it is just really fun.
Yeah, it's changing a lot too. I mean, you've already seen like the beginning stages. We thought it was kind of T-sided, but nothing too crazy. Now people are saying it's really T-sided, but we don't know for sure. I think a lot of people were like looking at that Vitality phase game as like, what on earth? It's completely shifted. It's caused chaos so frequently, but an op shot doesn't rain out there. Shine lucky to walk away with the op though, and the trade with the MP9. So it's a 4v4. You maintain a level ahead here, but again, this mid control established. Kicks in. That's one tricky smoke right there. It didn't look like it was like a full right click or left click. It was like a mixture of both, and it's going to land to block off some vision.
I think this is where B-side teams separate themselves for being good and great. If you can isolate and have pure control in towards middle and incorporate it into your splits or just apply presence, it's so dangerous. And look at this. You've got Kixon that can hold off these rotates now from A. Execute coming in towards B. Run. Oh, not quite from Nork. And in actual fact, that grenade is probably going to finish him off. B anchor players really holding strong. But JL will find Sapek. Now it's just Flusher. Pepsaw. Pepsaw hits the shot and tries to bait in. Flusher for an opportunity. Jchem versus 2, but they're giving up the 1v1s. Pepsaw now on the angle. Jchem hits the spray. And Apeks will take 5.
Oh, no. That's a disaster right there. Opshot holding the line to cross, and Jacob wins both fights. That is absolutely massive right there. Apeks walking away the victors of a very difficult round. You said it, separating the good from the great. The cutoff of rotations, that was great. But they were running into some problems. That failed run boost, a little bit clunky, a little bit awkward there. That should have cost them the round right there. But some heroics come through from such an experienced player right there in Jacob. It's enough to get the job done. It's fantastic work being done by the boys over at Apeks here. It's going to force Eyeballers onto an eco here. A bit of a rocky road ahead of them. That's free range here for JL. Easy pickings. It's like dominoes. They all come collapsing. And 2 USPs, JW and Flusha. Just looking to find a little bit of something here. A little bit of damage. Having some fun with Apeks playing hide and go seek.
No, nothing. Prize not really deadly for the Eyeballers. Apeks. This is the first time we finally get to see a little bit of a buffer between the two teams. Orps will now come out. Are they going to trade, or is Pepsaw going to keep rocking it? Looks like he's holding on to it. Okay. I don't mind this, because he was hitting shots in the previous round, and JW's been missing a fair few sitters.
He's been hovering around the 6 and 7 kill mark for quite some time. He's been struggling to have impact outside of the pistol and the following. I like that early double up on the AG right there.
Yeah, I was thinking it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Bit of a shame there's no one there to catch it, but could have been good for an opening. This is a risk that Shine, I don't know if he can fully afford to take right now. He's been solo on that A-bomb site, and honestly, it seemed like a lot of attention from Apeks has been put towards that direction, but either way, this is some pretty valuable control towards A. Even if you're able to ever turn that corner, it puts a lot of pressure on some of those A players. Here's Sapek. An interesting position here. Looking to chase down JL, and the chase is in, and the kill confirmed, but that's the trade right there. Stiko making sure to not allow for too much free range of this aggression to work out here in JW. Right behind the smoke, Jacob trying to get cheeky. A warm greeting right there from JW. As he's sneaky as ever, but he sticks around for too long, and he finds out quickly what's around the corner. And Shine's now down towards A. That's the only A player left standing. It's going to be a retake.
Yeah, it's one that they shouldn't really even be going for. Pepsaw, that's his mind mained up for him. Doesn't even need to decide it. Tries to just get out of there. Would he be able to? You'd hope so if you're an Eyeballers fan. Stiko knocks him down. No AWP brought forward. And again, it's the prioritization in towards mid. Sure, JW gets a kill, but it's the immediate trade from Nork. Shine then feels like he has to turn around and help. And as he turns around, Stiko walks in at A main. The split is absolutely perfect.
It's a very strong collapse right there. Trade game looking good for Apeks here. Stabilizing on the T side a whole lot more. There's some real chances to strike here, and a chance once again from Shine. Close range with the P250. Shadow advantage. Oh, that is difficult to deal with right there. It's going to give him a little 5 on or 4v3 now. As that response towards mid comes through. One gun dismissed of. Kicks and making sure that they have no chance of picking that one up.
Yeah, you got to play the advantages. Keep them on the pistols. That's so nice. Player advantage still with the eyeballers, though. Nork now looking to press in. He shouldn't walk out here on his own, but if he does, no one is currently really staring at him. Sapek is, but the adjustment could definitely be made here for the AWPer. Quite terrified. Instead, he's going to put utility down, try and keep rotations moving. And that's exactly what happens. Nork even finds Pepsor, and that is the red carpet rolled out for A. Okay.
Shine left in a bit of a tough position. Knock with a Tech 9. Showing how strong those pistols really can be. It's going to be a winning half there from Apeks. They'll be able to recover what was a scary start to that one. But moving forward here, it's going to be very strong. So Eyeballers at a bit of a stalemate. The double up has come out before, and it hasn't been a key to their success. They're going to continue to try and reinvest into this. Pepsor, once again, given the secondary on the sticks. This time, a much quicker approach towards this B-bomb site. Wow, what a way to kick things off here. Pepsor able to keep things level with one straight through the smoke. Unbelievable. The fact that he walks away with that second frag right there. Finally traded, and the bomb dropped as well, but it's not confirmed just yet. This round is not over at all.
No, it's not. Jacob can now punch in the digits. Good nade. And the follow-up is going to try and force him back, but the smokes are still up. Jacob can now reevaluate from a new position. The thing is for Apeks is, do you expect 3 players all from the same spot in CT? It feels difficult, but Nork has got a good angle to kind of delegate between Temple and CT. However, smokes, flashbangs trying to split the difference. Flusher up and over, and Shine around the other side of the obelisk. Good flashbang from JW. Eyeballers a successful retake. It ends the winning streak of Apeks. I think that was 4 in a row from them. Now broken. Plenty of money. Look at Nork's money. 14,000.
Yeah, there's so much wealth here after the string of rounds. It's not a big deal. The question is, can they close out the remaining bits of these rounds here? Can they close out anything extra here? I mean, I did say CT sides are a little bit strong. Stronger than you might think here for Apeks, so it's not completely out of the picture. Obviously a bit of a strong half here. But that's one thing that's interesting about this team is their defense is pretty sharp considering the current, landscape. Even good teams on Anubis, they still struggle on the defense. Looks like they're gearing up for another B exec though. A lurk smoke out, it seems. Gonna draw out the attention early. Flashbang through the smoke. Everyone's blinded up by it, but it's a 1-for-1. Valuable info though.
Oh, Pepsor so concerned about Dark because now he has to watch between 2 angles. JL thinking about pushing, decides not to, and that is completely the correct decision. Pepsor's now even going searching, resetting towards middle for Apeks. JL finds the AWPer. At least Flush is here to trade. But it's still another player delegated towards B. Apeks working through mid, waiting for utility to land. Shot not fired off by JW.
And they try and flush out Shine here. They know he's here, right? As the A anchor. They're so very focused on keeping him at bay that they'll actually smoke him off right now. And they've switched positions. In the meantime, 3v3. Things kept contained here, but Stiko continues to keep a keen eye on this direction here. And now smoke's faded, so he's going to be put on notice. Stiko wins the all-important fight right there. And from there on out, Apeks just run amok. Able to deal with the remaining. And they do get a little bit of extra credit here. 9 on the board now, even better. is that the money is not in an amazing position. Oh, you can flush on an MP9, right? That's not a big deal. We've already established that, but Shine is as well. And those are two of the more acentric players here.
And I think your point, again, that you made pre-game really is highlighted here in this first half. The lack of CT opportunity to find these opening kills has really stifled all of the information from eyeballers, and it makes them really susceptible to these mid splits. Apeks can just reset late round, find the opportunities, and completely crunch on a bomb site, and eyeballers are not ready for it. They're not aware, and you can't really push an extremity on Anubis because if you go B, for example, you can try and rotate to A, but you'll be there in about 30 seconds.
It's very far removed here. Flush it though. Drip wire with the MP9, but this is a problem here. Shine again, he should be known. Do get the bomb out a little bit premature here. A second kill could be found. Shine, excellent. Massive performance from him. And Knock can't be a huge helping factor here. It's going to be Stiku's left a little bit removed. One shot sings on out. Second tag. Zapik able to trade things out quickly. And that's the last two players confirmed here. Stiku tries to turn the corner to get in towards the site safely. He has to get his gun out though. Oh, not in time. JW finishes the job right there. It's going to be a 9-6 half here at the turn of the break. After this, we'll hop into the second.
Nine six, Apeks now on that CT side. Eyeballers, can they come back? 1xBet doesn't seem to think so. Heavily in favor of Apeks here at the start of the second half. cct.gg/1xBet. It's gambling though, guys. Make sure you're of age, make sure it's responsible, and only bet what you can realistically afford to lose. 3 players on the CT side for Apeks at A. Eyeballers, quick play in towards middle, and in fact, they're wrapping B.
It's going to leave those B players out high and dry here. Shine spots out all of that A side aggression, but Knock is getting closed in upon 2 different directions here. This is insane map control here for the boys over at Eyeballers, but they still have to crack through it. Jacob, how does he do this? 2 kills, he buys time for the rotations to come on through. Got away with it big time right there. Did not expect to see that round go so handedly in favor of Apeks. There was a chance I thought it would require a lot of heroics, but it looked a little bit too easy right there. The dualies get the job done again.
I just thought that was a open and shut case. You've got 3 players from Apeks so far removed. You've got 3 players from Eyeballers about to completely crunch the site. You've got a split in between Temple and CT. Kixon's got an Agev in round 17. Just wanted to throw that out there. But Jakem, how does he find the second kill? I don't know how he does it. It's fantastic. Suppressive fire allows JL to go through the smoke potentially. I love that he's bought it. I'm a big fan.
I don't think I've seen any Gev in quite some time.
No.
It is popular in the North American Counter-Strike region.
Yes.
It was a highly controversial purchase decision. People say it's too trolly. You know, not good enough. It's not viable. The issue in North America, though, is that I think people were buying it like every round.
Okay.
Because you can always afford a Nick Gavin armor at a certain level of loss bonus.
Yeah.
And so in FPL, people were like complaining about it, you know, and it was a big deal. It was a big problem. But
How is it over there in NA?
uh you know, it's it's been good. We'll just say that much. I'll be polite.
Fair enough.
Liquid made playoffs, so that's all we need. And complexity are like number 7 in the world.
That's true. Hickson. Oh,
That's a gun around.
I don't. All you can do is laugh at it. It is incredible. And you're completely right. That's gonna break and really hurt the eyeballers. JChem stepping in for more. Pepsaw removed. That's 2 is JW. It's only Flusher left and he gets dealt with through the smoke. Guns can be upgraded. Negev becomes AK-47. Eyeballers. Oh, dearie me. No money to contend with in round number 19.
Wow. That's see this is the round where like you're like, oh, the Negev it might not be able to have the same impact. Maybe this is like new meta defining stuff, right? The spam is constant in that mid angle, right? Between teams. At least it is whenever I play this map, right? You're just constantly trying to figure out a way to break past that mid control if it's prioritized. This round is not as much Ooh, what happened there?
No.
1-for-1 trade. I don't know what happened exactly. Maybe a missed HE or something, right? Because that was a lot of quick damage right there. But it is going to be a gun recovered. Another headshot landed. JW, could he find the trade? Not quite.
Oh,
This is some nice backspin. But it's knock instead. It will mop things up and lock that one in. I really do wonder what happened with that first death. Like imploded.
Yeah. I don't know. Hickson had to reload in the middle of that gunfight. He wouldn't have had to if he didn't upgrade. So that'd be a lesson. Should have kept it. Didn't need to get an AK-47. 13-6. Gun round is here now for the eyeballers. They're first. Well, I guess second. First with the AWP. That's quite a good incendiary. It actually dribbles down in towards the water. That has to be intentional because that nade would have landed exactly on Shine's temple.
It's a little bit deeper than usual. Keeps him at bay a little while longer. It's good for establishing some control. Here's just such an incredible pressure point for every team. The discovery of how you deal with E-Box, I think, if any team figures that out on the CT side, they might become like the masters of this map. But for now, it's just kind of an awkward area. Things. This Flusher will toss in an HE. You can see sometimes to deal with it, numbers are the solution. 2 players aggress towards mid. I guess 3 players and only 1 walks away. Snock with the op. Maintain a healthy bit of mid control here, but what's the end goal here for Eyeballs? It looks like they're going to turn and burn back in towards that B-bomb site, and that's going to leave poor Kixon on an island. He has no help here, and none of it's close. He's just going to take this off angle and hope that he doesn't get smoked off and he can find a quick kill and stay alive.
Oh, don't swing there. This is perfect. If he just tucks in, he can have an opportunity because they're not looking. Spray, good for a kill and a half. JChem does the rest. 3 versus 2, bomb down, but actually, it's a 2 versus 2, and okay, JChem, Pepsaw's allowed you to kill JW, and Pepsaw has got no health whatsoever, and JChem finishes the deal. What a crazy retake from Apeks.
Jacob, no way he just did that. I can't believe he dove in. Finished off the bomb planter right there. Obviously, they get the numbers punished in, but in that position, right? Jacob just staying alive in the 2-on-1. It helps out that you have a teammate as well, and your push and pull of attention. That is... tough round. Kixon as well, doing a really good job,
Yeah.
finding a kill and some change. You said don't swing out. He didn't. He remained disciplined, and he was able to do a lot of damage that helped out his teammates in that retake effort as well. And that's the value right there. Sometimes you try and be the hero, try and multi-frag, but you have teammates alongside you that can fire away, and especially if you're Kixon, you have a lot of good teammates around you that can deliver. They do redeem that round. All of his hard efforts brought in, they get rewarded.
Ooh, nice boost. It looked like he was almost mid-full, but does adjust. Seco now looking to take next point of contact. Oh, he shuffled right the way in. Didn't think that was going to be checked, and it isn't really. An immediate trade.
Ouch.
Kixon gets dinked. It's not that much damage, but the noise.
What happened to that molly?
I don't know. What is happening in middle?
Bounced off of like a little pixel right there. Maybe there are some still things that they need to adjust here. We'll hope it doesn't cost eyeballers some small details there, but for now it looks like they'll be A-okay. Movement's being made in towards that A-bomb site. Rotation's going to be arriving slightly delayed. There's a missed smoke on that connector angle. Pepser, is he showing a shadow? He is, 100%, yeah. Jacob was able to spot that out. That's a equalizer. And that's that missed smoke I was talking about. JW trying to play off the back of it. But there's a second one that will come through. JW's going to... Kixon won that fight?
JW tries to push through. And Jacob nearly finds Flusher. It's still information. Low HP, 2 versus 2. A Nork could catch off Shine. No, he unscopes. Looks the wrong way. Eyeballers will secure it by the skin of their teeth.
Two just incredibly close fights right there. If Nock had continued to cover that angle. And then obviously that fight right there over an A main. The difference makers in those rounds, but eyeballers able to scrape by. They haven't done, the job in terms of comebacking just yet. If they can win this round, we can start to talk about opportunities and depth in T-side here. Okay, there's a smoke for that molly, but the HE follows in right up. Oh my god, though. Still swinging with fury. And another kill comes through. JL, he sidelined Shine. But Apeks on a mission to pull this game back into his own favor.
Yeah, Nork's really got to be careful here. He has to watch A, but at the same time, has to rely on his teammates to dispatch of middle when Kixon can't see a thing. Nork swings, gets rid of one, and nearly gets rid of JW.
Oh, wow.
Pepsaw, lucky to be alive, and now Kixon and Jchem, but Jchem, he's tucked in the site already. Kixon deploys a smoke to mitigate an angle, maybe peek over the top towards the bomb site. These players are low. This is actually still a winnable retake. Kixon, that's brave.
HE, will it bounce? Oh, well, last player's known. He's traded out his teammate. So Jacob could have an idea, but he's back turned to him. And goodbye. Pepser puts an end to it. And the hard work completed there for another round of eyeballers in this map. Now, there's a question here looming ahead of Apeks. Do they want to buy? Do they want to half buy here? A lot of different decisions, but they're going to go for the purchase. Full investments, rifles included in the mix, so not willing to let off the gas just yet. Not at all. All of these rounds, though, coming down to the wire for eyeballers, still don't build a lot of comfort in their department.
Ooh, where's that going?
Feels like at the entrance of A main, right? There it is.
That's sick. That's so much control.
Early as well, but eyeballers don't really care about that. Nade stack right onto Jake, and that'll put him on notice. We'll see if he tosses that A1S over to Nock. That's what he'll do. Thank you very much. Nock's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that HP you lost there.
Yeah. Oh, what a shame. That's so much info, though. That was like 4 nades. Eco.
Oh, wow.
That's an AK. Nork. Oh,
Ooh.
my goodness me. They go straight into the meat grinder. Eyeballers, how?
I felt like they were so panicked right there. They see the player flanking in. Stiko gets that headshot on the flank, and that immediately sets in full panic. It's like, yo, eyeballers, we have to go now. There's no way we can win this round if we don't capitalize on getting that early trade. And in that panic, it costs them big time, especially when they find that opening pick. The shot right there is JL finishes the last frag, and it is a bit of a really scary territory. We came down to so many different clutch situations that now you're gonna look at this investment here, and it's gonna be like Mac 10s, Tech 9s, all of that in play to try and keep your head in this game. It's not gonna be pretty.
Wow, odds really shifting for the series now. Getting worse and worse for the eyeballers. Tech 9s trying to just run overwhelm A. Okay, Stiko drops a smoke. Following up with a flashbang. That's cool. Look at that bounce. That's fantastic, but the kill just doesn't come in.
Right off the edge of that smoke, JL's able to equalize, and they're trying to push in past the smokes here. The alarm bells should be ringing, and the retake effort is on. JW falls eventually, and so will Pepser. The chaos, it consumes him eventually. Eyeballers, they try and get away with it. They try and stay afloat here on Anubis, but Apeks just looking one step ahead here on their own map pick, as they should. A very strong result coming through. Great CT side shown once again from Apeks, continuing that trend of these guys delivering on the defensive, which is something that not a lot of teams have mastered just yet. And we'll keep an eye on that and see if that continues. But I mean, now we set our sights here on the map pick of eyeballers, and hopefully that gives them a better chance here of trying to claw the series back.
Yeah, overpass will be quite a dangerous one for me for the eyeballers, because look, it's their map pick, right? They're going to be starting on the T side. We saw Endpoint pop a very good T side on overpass against 500. Can eyeballers do the same? Well, given what we just saw against Apeks on Anubis, I'm not so sure. So many questions left to be answered. We're going to throw it to a break. When we come back, hopefully we got some answers for you.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-Bet.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions. A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much.
And an incredible result there after map number 1 for Apeks. They're on the home field of Eyeballers now, and they look to bounce back here. We'll see if they can do so. It's going to be a hard-fought effort. Apeks have already shown some strong defense. Can they continue that forward into Overpass? I mean, in theory, they should be able to, right? CT-sided map here. We'll take a look at those 1xBet odds there. Much more favored in Apex's camp after that first map.
One of my favorite American football chants. Really creative. Defense. Defense.
Yeah,
Yeah?
do the claps, though.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Oh, JL claps JW. Battle of the J's over at Long. Eyeballers, now with limited options. That's kind of going to force their hands and funnel them more in towards B. Pepsol's taking ground in towards Connector, though. Trying to establish some sort of map control back for the Eyeballers. 4 players still residing on the B defense.
You really don't want to head into this B-bomb side either. There's a lot of players here, but they're starting to crack through some of them. More presence in towards Heaven. Flashes are working out well, but I think the numbers are still overwhelming despite some beautiful kills answered back. All of the presence here, the sheer amount of force has put Shine into a 1v3. A chance, though, to isolate these duels, not quite. JL on the jump up. We'll cap it off with 3 kills, and defense going to win yet again. Maybe it's because of my presence here, then your chance.
Yeah, maybe. That was incredible from JL. Takes the fight out long, rotates back through, and he's just bounding on into the bomb site. Nork does exceptionally well. Without his kills, that could have been really compromising for Apeks, because Eyeballers, although they were running into the stack site, they were finding the advantages. Nork staying alive right at the back of the bomb site, taking 2 kills, is fantastic, because it buys so much time for those rotations to come on in.
Yeah, 100%. They were actually cracking through there. If it wasn't for Knock, he was like the first bit of resistance that they had hit at like the 3rd hurdle, because Eyeballers were doing a great job of cracking through up until that point. JL and some incredibly quick rotations towards the B bomb side as well off the back of his info, and dealing with that lurk as well. It's always going to alleviate some stress. A little bit of an oopsie. On the boost assembly, we'll have to re-assemble that. In the meantime, there is no eyes towards long. It's going to put this round on a bit of a timer. There's a nice pick off. There's a bomb dropped and follow up. A 1-2 punch from Jacob and Knock right there. A wake up call for Eyeballers as they now need to recover that bomb and recover Bathrooms control. Sapek. Ooh, around the corner. That's an easy one. Jacob. He's caught. And they're going to continue to move forward off that.
Yeah, look at Nork, though. Tucked in towards Bathrooms. Can hear JW getting, well, quite loud. I should catch him off, and does. And the bomb as well. That's absolutely fantastic. Sapek, 1v4. Doesn't really feel ideal, but as he creeps his way forward, Stiko catches him off guard. But the Galil bests out the MP9. 25 seconds, needs to get the bomb, and that is probably one step too far.
At this point, 100%. JL holding for further aggression here. And bails out a little bit further back. There, catches him as he falls. Nice warm embrace there. Knock a hell of a round again. Beautiful 3K, man. Able to keep his attention turned there. I can't believe he was willing to commit himself in towards Bathrooms. It was starting to really be a worry there as to whether or not Sapek would have found him turning the corner. But his multi-frag ability here so far. And Overpass looking strong. It's giving them a lot of ground towards that A-bomb site. This 1-2 punch that we're going to be keeping an eye out for here. Knock and Jacob playing on that A side. It's very exciting, right? You got your cerebral, very smart rifler next to a very effective defensive opper. Just super consistent and Knock. And I think you got yourself a nice little winning formula there if you're Apeks on the defense.
Oh. A little bit of a lazy clear for JCam. But it is only an MP9, and pretty much all of Eyeballers are falling. As Deco can now step in and try and recover some dollars with the MP. Pepstall with a kill of his own. Alright. A couple here and there, but it should always still be the Apeks round. JL makes sure it is. From the shallows of the short waters, Apeks take 3, keep on building, but now here's the true test. Guns about to be invested for the Eyeballers.
Just an interesting note here is they could have afforded an AWP in this round. Pepster had the money for it, but they get 5 rifles out instead. I feel like T-side opping on overpass is something that's very workable, and I don't typically hear a lot of complaints on the T-side opping on this map. You can actually see oppers do a lot of effective work here, you know, and usually are capable of just waiting for mistakes on the defense. A lot of CT side aggression is pretty typical on this map, as that's going to make Jacob's job very difficult. That Molly didn't fully get extinguished, it seemed. And he catches a lot of flack for it. He's actually flushed out into the wide open right there.
That's a really good start. That's exactly what the Eyeballers needed. And look at the space being taken by JW out towards long. So much ground being gathered. Bomb actually not committing. Instead, it's waiting over towards Monster. And this is quite a powerful setup for JL and Kixon. And if JL didn't spot Pepster and Connector, he certainly is aware of him now.
Start to leave Kixon alone, though. For good reason right now. JL is started to reposition over, but he's just fallen off that boosted angle. Now he's exposed. 1-for-1 over towards Monster, something you couldn't afford. Dropping the bomb is something you can, though. Obviously, that's going to mean the rotations need to be brought in. JW. Stico needed that frag, doesn't find it. Round is delaying, interestingly enough here. And Knock in heaven needs to land some big frags. Oh my god, missed that one. I thought that one looked on him.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe some movement, maybe some slight delay there, and Stico not saving that op. Eyeballers come out of the gate swinging there, and I said they could have afforded an opal to get one in the very next round by winning this one.
Pepster gives us a shine. He's like, he's staring at Pepster. He's like, why have you given this to me? Gives it to JW. Ready, raring to go. I tell you what, some of those rounds were quite close. And as a result, Apeks, they need to go on the halfy B, just the Deagles. Gives Eyeballers a perfect opportunity to bring this game one round closer.
Try to get some T-side rounds rolling early. Like you said, there's some value in doing damage on those, like, lacking purchase rounds, the force buys, all that good stuff. And they sure were able to do damage. The Deagle. Flash is perfectly placed. Going to keep Jacob at bay, but actually calls in for a little bit of reinforcements here. This is an interesting stack you don't see every day. A lot of presence towards long. 3 players. Ready for them to turn the corner, but a lot of utility as well. It's going to be a head-to-head, head-on collision here.
I don't think they're flashing this. No, they're not. Okay, because Sapek and Shine just destroy the Apeks defense. That's fantastic. I didn't expect it to go that cleanly.
No, me neither. I figure they would have been dispatched of. But I think they needed a little bit more, right? If that was a rifle round, if there was FAMASA's MP9s in play, maybe that would have worked, but with Deagles, you need the instant headshots, and that double peek that came through from the high-low setup really helped out. Stico? An exit would be nice. An AK could be retrieved. Oh my goodness. That's one way to use the Deagle right there. A little spammage. Those are some nice stickers.
What about these ones?
Not a big fan. I can't tell the names on there. I assume Flusha?
Yeah.
But there seems like there's some other ones as well. Couldn't fully see. I saw a blue sticker in there somewhere.
An orange one on the end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Nice stickers though. It's interesting how, like, appealing stickers can be. Like the RMR stickers, I was looking at them, didn't go up big time in price. They kind of stagnated. They never did anything. No, I guess a lot of people didn't really like those. But other stickers do really well, so it all depends on how they look, I guess.
Yeah.
Always interesting. Sticker market's a wild game. Some pressure though for Jacob. He's staying alive a little bit better in this round.
Oh, Apeks are really prioritizing this angle to peek in towards short pipe. Eco, just on the other end of this smoke, could be in a lot of trouble. Does actually back away just as the smoke is fading. No bullets connecting. 3 out of connector into short. It's going to transition into B really fast for Eyeballers.
They're running into this one. There's not a lot of defense. It's just Stico and the one way in towards pit. Knock actually helps out from above. Stico's yet to reveal his cards. One's jumped in towards the pit position. Stico still playing around the pillar there. There's the first kill from him, revealing his position, and distraction caused right there. Jacob baits him out. JW gets caught as well. And Stico just so composed right there. He never oversteps. He never overplays his hand. He waits for the perfect time to strike and kicks in, sacrifices his life, but the trade comes through very quickly. That's a very impressive defense. I was in the position where I was saying Stico needed to push forward there. He needed to take a fight right there, but he waited for the fight to come to him. And I think that was way more ideal at the end.
I can't believe he stays alive after a player jumps in towards water and doesn't clear the smoke. I guess it's because all the contact's being taken up heaven. You've got JChem there on the rotate to kind of deal with the players. But the fact that Stico stays alive there is absolutely gigantic for Apeks. And that's the whole reason why they win that round.
It was a bit of a shock, but good work from Stico, able to isolate. It's exactly what they needed right there. I like the play from Eyeballers, so all things considered. There was some good counters from Apeks, but that sort of explosiveness I love to see on a T side. You know, the way that they were able to silently take space, but then explode on in towards that bomb site as soon as like the pin was ready to be pulled here. That is some very unfortunate timing for Pepser. He gets caught off guard there a little bit. Smoke, spam, nearly finds it, but not the start they were hoping for. JL goes 1 for 1 though over towards Monster, so it's not completely out of the picture.
No, it's not. And short control's now been gathered by this T side, as well as Connector. Although, JChem could potentially find Sapek, who is walking a little bit wounded. I feel like, again, it's just limitation of control here for the eyeballers. They've got water, they have Connector, so they start to think, oh, okay, well, we must go B. Take a look at JChem.
Flanked.
Yeah.
That's going to sour the mood.
Good trade. 20 seconds, though. You have to go B.
Especially with the further smokes and Utah committed right. Now they're walking into a bit of a crossfire. Again, very rapid on the trade there, but look who's just waiting around the corner. It's just a double peek that comes through from Heaven and Graffiti. Not much you can do about that. I feel like they made the best out of a pretty bad situation with the way that they were able to fire their way out of that situation, right? I mean, a lot of nice headshots landed from Sapek, and that's a real promising sign, but like you said, they're digging themselves a pretty deep hole when it comes to some of the map control. They are able to take it here initially, which is interesting, but they don't hold on to it for too long, which is always a big liability. I believe I was calling it a second timeout. Was it? I believe it was. So they're rolling through these pretty quickly here. We'll see if that offers up any relief.
Is there an AK on the floor for JW? Or has he dropped an AK and he's just rocking Deagle? Just Deagle, okay.
Let's see what he can do. Rocking with the Deeg. Trusted a little bit more in the teammates here to do some of the heavy lifting. The op turns the corner here. Oh, it just doesn't get baited out by the jiggle at all. Finds the opening pick there. Allows for Jacob to strike here in unison. This is that, combination that I was talking about here. This 1-2 punch on this A bomb site that can be so hard to bypass.
Oh, Jacob gets caught off guard though. That's a good find from Flusher. Does come at a sacrifice of quite a few digits of HP. And Kixon now going for more. Hits the trade, drops a molly and falls back. That's really good. Oh, I was going to say, because it follows them into Nork, but Shine cracks his neck in half. 3 versus 2. Stiko.
Wow.
I was going to say, could be caught off, but no. What a headshot. JW versus 3.
Oh,
okay.
Beautiful reposition as well, man. I just love that out of him. I mean, we know Stiko's an experienced player. He's going to make the right decisions, but when you see it in the server just perfectly come together, so promising. Like, the fact that he goes to jump up right there, and he knows his teammates are flanking up connector. He knows that he's just dropped bomb in towards front bathrooms. The only liability is if you go down on that site. He could have tried to chase that bomb down. He could have isolated the 2 flanks. There's potential for him to plant like somewhere around the back dice position. And if he just stays alive there, lets his teammates do the rest of the heavy lifting. Now, he did find the finishing kill, but it's a promise there. It's the experience really showing from Stiko. And you'll love to see it formulate into like a round like that, but really triple dated there. It does a lot of damage, finds a kill, but they all line up for JL. Oh my god, the spray down and the molly to convert. It was a nice way to kick things off right there, but it quickly goes sour.
JL is 14-2 right now. Nork 10-3. This is quite wild, and the lack of T rounds is quite disturbing for the eyeballers. This started off back and forth, but quickly ended. Apeks have just been on an absolute tear since we've got the rifles in play. for the eyeballers, it kind of feels a little bit like panic stations. Nork finds the opener, JW looking to search, and Stiko doesn't even need to see his opponent. Shine just gets absolutely decimated at short.
JW able to pull one back here. He's triggering Flusha to go further in, but Flusha can't convert. JW's position revealed. Ooh, a little bit of fancy slide in there from JW. Grabs himself the AK as well. He's got a whole lot of fight left in, but they're going to find the bomb, which is, I think, going to be the nail in the coffin there. They've just spotted it. Op turns the corner there. Knock. That is a scary peek from him, to be honest with you. Close range. Op turning the corner. That's not ideal, but he's looking sharp. He's 12-3 alongside his teammate in JL, 15-3, so Apeks farming up a storm right now. And that's another gun round that just kind of quickly falls out of the picture.
That felt very forced from eyeballers. It was like, let's get JW into short at all costs to find him a kill.
Yeah.
And, well, the costs was 2 players. Now down even further. Apeks do win out the half. It's just Tech 9s and a couple of Deagles thrown in the mix for the eyeballers side. Really need to hit some bangers here to have a chance to contest.
Sounds like these that can facilitate like a whole lot of momentum though. Especially when you're able to turn the corner this quickly. Kicks in. No way. Secondary flash comes in. I don't know how he was able to get away with a single frag. Now Jacob stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Mollying Shine into the site. And they're split between these 2 angles right now. What on earth is going on? JW sidelines Knock, turning the corner there. Another kill comes through. But Jacob maintains the integrity of this A bomb site, and the B not so much side of things here will be taken by Flusha as he runs on in. He's got the op in hand, but they're not going to peek at this corner, surely not until they hear the bomb plant, and that's going to buy enough time here. Flusha starts to punch in the numbers, and as soon as you hear that plant go down, that's when they're going to strike.
He's still repositioned to potentially peek out Con, because that's where they both were. Instead, going to have a more passive line. This is good. Is there any flashes at all for the CT side? Not yet. Jumping over instead is JL. Flusha tries a no-scope. Now smoke thrown in his face. Like a middle finger. And unfortunately, can't convert anything on the Deagle. JL will stick the defuse. Apeks hit 9. And this is looking terrible for the eyeballers, who, bear in mind, this is their map pick.
I'm having trouble keeping up with that last round, man. That was all over the map. That spray that started off was like a testament to how the rest of the round was going to finish up right there. Messy, but it gets the job done. For Apeks, at least.
That's a clean case hardened, by the way.
We see it.
JL.
JL, stop swiping it around so much. Maybe I could get a look in. It did look clean in the short stint that I was able to see it. Has the drip to back up the frags, it seems.
I don't. I've got rust coat knives.
Oof. Sticking with the M9 Doppler. It's been a staple in my inventory for quite some time now.
This is much better out of the eyeballers. Taking space out towards toilets and connector. Now they can flash up and try and split together. Eco's got control towards shore, which allows Naught to peek deep connector, but they've already walked past. JChem only goes 1 for 1, and well, JW was holding for Stiko's push.
Oof, a lot of pressure put on. Kicks in. He's feeling the need to re-aggress here. He's going to walk right into the scope of JW now. He doesn't kill off more than 1. He does get traded quickly. But there's still JL that they have to worry about, and this guy's 16-3. Not the man that you want to be up against. And Nox stands alongside him in this 2v3, which is an even further problem here. But Sapik puts him down with ease. Scales around that corner, takes so much space. And Nock definitely not going to make it an effort here. He's got a full belt of utility, full armor, and AWP. I mean, right there in his pockets, that's like 8k, so. Not worth going down here. You gotta stay alive, right? You gotta stay alive. But he's gonna turn this corner right into a crosshair of Flusha, and he will go down. It's a huge cost right there. And Eyeballers, they can maybe build up a little bit of foundation on this T side if they're able to string things together.
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. That's exactly what they need. The Eyeballers side 6 would be fantastic. Given how the game's been going, given how CT-sided this map truly is, another timeout being taken. Eyeballers really want to talk things through. And a little bit more of a default goes a long way. Good space being taken out towards long, out towards party, control gathered in towards connector. And the split up was just perfect. I like the fact they added different players to hold flanks as well. Apeks reacting off the trades, off the information being given over by JChem. And it just compounds the advantages further for the Eyeballers. That was a really well put together round.
Yeah, no question. Excellent work being done right there. Dealing with the aggression. It's been a common setup that we've seen in short as well, that they were able to punish, which is a lot of promise. This time the op is over towards that A side, which I would like to see a little bit more frequently, considering that now that's been a big priority. As the leg shot landed, they're catching him trying to boost on top of the stairs. And Jacob is going to sour the mood there pretty quickly. There were smiles on their faces at the turn of that last round, but frowns for Sapek as he was such an incredible entry frag player. Now pushing out towards Monster, they don't have that entry prowess, and they're smoked and flashed off as well. The flashes continue to rain on in. Everyone's blind and no one can find a kill. But there's so much damage done to favor them.
And yet, JW. Oh my god. What? What? Okay. Sure. That's one way to take space. I didn't think that AWP head-to-head would ever be going like that.
Oh my god. It looked like he just didn't care. He's like, oh, yeah, he missed that shot. He's not going to hit again, but this time not make sure to redeem himself. Drops a bomb, drops a molly on top of said bomb there. Further complicating things. JW's ready for this angle, though.
Oh my god, Shine. Gets caught off.
Oh my god, Kixon playing this one so well. He perfectly avoided the op. He perfectly avoided everyone for the most part. And somehow in the chaos there, again, Eyeballer's not able to come out on top, man. These rounds are insane.
That was really well played by Kixon. The target selection there. Drops a flash over the top, knows that JW's on his left, which means that there has to be a player in close proximity to try and compete and attack with the sniper. So he just ignores him. He knows that the player's coming up, and if he can surprise factor the player coming out of toilets, it just works out perfectly. Apeks 10, Eyeballers 3. Eyeballers now running through Monster. Flasher. Oh, has to go back.
Goodness. Some lovely entries coming through every once in a while here from boys at Eyeballers. You can see the hunger in their eyes to start, you know, winning some rounds off the back of this, right? That's a beautiful opening pick right there from Pepser. Oh. And he doesn't stop at one. Takes a whole lot more with him. Another frag to his tally. That's 2 entries right there. What do you do from this point, Apeks? You're gonna be left to a rather awkward 3v5. They at least have a couple players towards that B-bomb site.
JL. Got to hold for more than that. Kicks and swings. 1-for-1 trades. Only going to favor that T side. Numbers game well and truly with them. 1 versus 3 for Nork, who's not on the bomb site. He's never going for this. Okay. Bare minimum 4 for the Eyeballers. Can they make it 5? That's now the next question. That salvages the half somewhat. It gives them a lifeline to work with.
Actually going to need this save pretty desperately here to get a whole lot brought into this next round. Not going to drop a weapon. Stiko's still going to be fine to invest, but there's going to be like MP9s in the mix here. And Eyeballers can grab themselves like a 10 to 5 half. That's serviceable. It's not incredible. It's nothing special, but it's certainly workable when they hop into that defensive half. We don't see like some depth come out from Apeks, and I've seen them struggle on their T side. I've seen them struggle more so, you know, before the changes that they were making. But I've seen, you know, a slight lack of like T side ability to close out rounds, to come in with some identity. So there's a chance here to strike. There's no question. Eyeballers, they definitely are going to need this last round though if they want to put themselves in a good position.
Our Hellcase as well, one time banner underneath the stream. Again, it's gambling, guys. You know what I'm going to say. Only do it if you're of age. Only do it responsibly. And only bet what you can afford to lose. But if you enter some promo codes, I think it's probably CCT, you get a little bit of a discount. And Nork discounts Eyeballers roster by 1 in the final round of play here in the first half. Sapek has to watch from the sidelines.
Never a fun position to be in. Last round and a half. And you're sitting there with your hands in your pockets.
Sorry, I'll take them out.
Nice. We do have some cheeky little positions. I love this from Stiko, man. This is a staple for any MP9 user. Sure, we'll see it like flush in there next half. Don't you worry. As right now, pressure is going to continue to be put forward here on the Jacob. It's a little one scale smoke there coming through from the boys over at Eyeballers. The issue is they got to take some space here first before they can get to that position where they can start to scale. And moving past that smoke, this time in a good position to avoid that. So utility reigns on in.
So smart.
Jacob. Oh, he's got a gap in the smoke as well.
That's so clever from Kixon. They're not expecting Jacob at all. Now it's just JW, silenced by Nork. 11 rounds on the CT side for Apeks. They look to close the series 2-0. (11-4) Apeks. Looking pretty good. But now they swap to the T side, and that's been a struggle for most teams. 1xBet thinks that Eyeballers are never coming back ever.
Ever. And I wouldn't fully agree. 4 rounds. Be scary. What is going on here though?
Spam through the wall with the USP.
USP. Never before seen tech rate there coming through from Flush. He doesn't get punished for it, but they're walking into a stack here. They should be punished for this. Knock comes through with a stunning headshot, and the kills follow suit. But the rotations are swift, and now we're into a 2v2. They're touching each other in the smoke. They're right next to each other. They should realize that they've been blocked. What is happening right now? Shine turns around the corner there and deals another headshot. Now kicks in, spotted. He's a little bit lost in the sauce, but he swung a bullet to JW, and he lands it onto Shine as well. How on earth did Kixon just win that round?
He was what? I don't know. How does he win that round? I don't know. He was giving Shine a little cuddle in the smoke as well before. And yet, he goes round the pillar to find Shine and just nails JW. That was a stack for the Eyeballers. It just falls flat on its face. We've got another one now. This is a full eco. Just a couple of pieces of utility. I am in disbelief.
I'm equally shocked right there. I thought that stack was going to do nothing. This time it wasn't like what we saw out of Apeks stack, where the early phase went to Eyeballers' way. It was the opposite, right? Early round right there, Eyeballers were landing the opening kills. It was the trades that came back. And the 1v2 there from Kixen, that took him the extra edge, man. That's a tough round to swallow. Stiko, it's going to be a lot more difficult than that to catch him off guard here. Hoping he can continue to farm up some sweet eeks with his Mac 10 there to stack some cash. That HE bounces right on in. He does finish it with a 3k here. Chase coming through from the bottom of Con. Some Sapik. What can he get into? Naka's going to cover that now. AK versus USP in a long-range battle. You know who's coming out on top, and it's not going to be Sapik. It's 13-4. Full ego gets punished. But here's where the rubber's going to meet the road here for Eyeballers. This is where their comeback needs to start.
Yeah, it cannot fall flat. Needs to be extremely effective. The biggest thing that concerns me right now is the lack of utility. The fact that there's only 2 flashbangs for the whole round is very worrying.
That is not a pretty sight. And look at that HEJW getting stuck in this round early with the aggression. Double up in towards connector here as well. Pepzer, what do you have in store for us here? He's going to just walk around the corner slowly but surely. That Molly's going to leave him here. It's going to flush him out. That's going to spread. There it is. The dicks are landed, and the Stiko going to nail the headshot. Pepzer, there's nothing he can do.
I've been there, Pepsor, so many times. The incendiary lands over you or lands close to you. You initially don't take any damage. You're like, haha! And then it spreads to you, and you're just like, oh, well. That's rough. Oh, Shine. Nearly getting caught out as well. Flashbang, good in response. And a perfect swing from Shine. Needs a few more, though. JL's there for the immediate trade. Look at the rotation scrambling down towards B. And Apeks just wait, because there's plenty of time, and Nork is making headway up long.
We'll see what Nock can do, though, here. And this cutting of noise here, they've started to spread themselves thin. They're on a bit of a retake mission towards short side. And they're able to catch Sapik. That's going to make matters even worse. Even furthering this timidness in nature here. JW has given over that A-bomb site. Now they're here in the rotation in heaven. Now they feel Flusha's presence, but they can't rotate. They just have to wait for this flank to formulate, and Flusha gives them another. He's giving them new life here, but that flank finally comes through from Nock. And now Flusha needs to figure out a way to isolate this last duel. He will find it. There's not enough time here. No trade comes through. The swing out of Kixen loses him the round.
Why did he do that? Why did he swing? That makes 0 sense.
All you have to do is plant the bomb there. He can't peek you from pit. He can't peek you from right. You have the teammate in heaven. What?
What a blunder. What an absolute misplay. Right at the very end. I understand time's a factor. You feel pressured, but there is no world in which you swing that.
There's no way they could have lost it, I don't think. Like, realistically, if he just plants a bomb, you know, Flush is going to chase you on the bomb, most likely. And if not, then you can play the 1v2. Maybe there's a chance you lose in the 1v2, but yeah, that's going to be one in the heat of the moment that's going to, you know, potentially haunt them. Little nade tossed in, and it might not haunt them for too long here. Opening pick continued further. Nox taken down low, but it's no kill confirmed. That Molly might cause jail a little bit of discomfort, and Shine capitalizes, but that's 2 players confirmed. Now towards that B bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, this literally happened last round, right? It was a similar story, and Apeks slowed things down, then they went back in towards B, and that's going to be in the back of Eyeballer's mind. Pepzor has got a big task on his hands here, because he needs to actually find information, but also when he finds it, he also needs to get some kills. It can't just be one.
Oh my goodness, that's exactly what he needed to do right there. Like you said, find a kill, find some success in this position. He stays alive as well. Gets his utility down to buy time. To be honest, if I was you, Kixon, I wouldn't want to peek into that either. Saw what just happened to your teammate there. That's an instant dismissal of JL right there. Knockdown low, as we already know. Cracking past these last couple players here. It's not going to be easy. Snock's going to go in. No, it's actually Kixon that goes in first, and he lands his multi-kill. He might be able to redeem himself in the very next. But Nock tries to land the frag here. It's a 1v1, and Flusha gets the better end again. Back-to-back clutches from Flusha to keep this CT side effort going, to keep it underway here. Gonna pick himself up everything he can possibly grab here, all the utility, everything extra, and now we're going to see a real opportunity loom ahead of Eyeballers as to pulling this one back.
Yeah, and you don't want to be overly critical there because Flash does a fantastic job in the 1 versus 2, but yet again, there's another unnecessary swing. I just don't see the need. Kixon gets 2 great kills, and then whoever the truck player is, but on low HP, decides to go, do you know what? I'll give Flasher a chance. Wide swings. 1 bullet is all it will take. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Bit surprising, that's for sure. I think Nock was just hoping to get a jump on him, right? Thinking maybe I can end the round here. You wouldn't expect me to be up this close, and again, some of that proactivity, it gets punished. Flush the tag down early. His timing doesn't favor Stiko, but he's able to stay alive here. Takes a lot of damage for it. And JW just doubles back. He's been spotted here, but he's good for 2. And the trade finally comes through, but it's a man advantage healthily maintained. There's still that aggressive position from Pepser, which is the top of playground or party, where he's just in a prime position to hold on to all this info. It'll enable a lot of presence stacked quickly towards B.
The only thing that's scary is if JL goes for a monster peak and gets flashed in by Nork. That's the only thing that can really unsettle this defense for the Eyeballers. But
Oh,
no.
didn't even need a flash.
Okay. What?
Oh, caught in the open right there. Sapek was trying to help out with the short defense or monster, and he got caught right there. He didn't think that they were already past the molly. And there's low HP, but Flush is still in the server. Pepster tries to barrel up short. But this time they're not peeking, they're trying to fade away instead. Pepster, though, moves us way forward. Graffiti's just been claimed here in the meantime, making these post plans even stronger. Flusha finally bested Pepser down so very low. And these rounds have been so incredibly close. They're going to have to wave the white flag here, call in a save. 14 locked in for Apeks.
That's so unfortunate for Eyeballers, because it looked like Shine placed down a short molly and then wanted to get a smoke up to defend the hit once it expired. But in the corner, it didn't quite spread.
No, it did not. And that was the key right there. They were already up sandbags. I thought he made noise, so I assumed that it would have been noted, right? But I guess not. And that is such a small detail right there. But it might decide, you know, whether or not Eyeballers can keep their heads in this game right now. You look at the purchase. This is one of those nightmare scenarios. It's been coming through in this series and the last, where you just don't have a lot to bring to the table. A lot of pressure put on Pepser. He's a man that can step up. Hearing that tick in the molly there, that smoke maybe should confirm that there is that boost. That boost is so common. So many teams bringing that to the table there to take care of an early pick, but that's a solo spout of aggression here from Flusha. He's got the deagle in hand. Can he deliver? The shot's landed and it's finished off there. Great flash from JW. Love the setup. Love the combination of these two storied players.
It is good, however... Oh my goodness me. Deco just deletes Shine. I wants to go one further. In the smoke though, Sapek It's actually slotted back in towards barrels, and there's a quick flank on from Flusher as well.
Oh, they dealt with the flank though. Turning around. They haven't checked barrels though, have they?
No,
Doesn't
Sapek
matter.
moved back.
Oh,
JL
he
gets
did.
both.
Gixon
dropped.
dropping the bomb again. Oh no. Pepster takes care of JL, low on HP there. Stiko jumping up in the same box, guys. My god, there's not enough position where they can trade each other right there. It's so terribly uncomfortable. But they walk away with the round nonetheless. And again, nightmare scenario for eyeballers is that they're going to be on the same exact purchase minus the rifle. They're going to have no A4s. Nothing really brought into this one.
I don't know. Apeks doing their best to give eyeballers a chance in these clutches. Like, I don't know what they're doing there against Pepsor. I think it's going to be a quick one in towards B. I don't know. Maybe the P90 is really kind of giving me that indication.
It's giving you some quick vibes.
Yeah, it's give me something. Oh, dearie me. How fast they go in. They actually swap positions. Look at this quick flank. Never mind. Dealt with by Nork. There's one more player. JW will find one, but the rest of his teammates have all fallen in the meantime. This feels done. 1 versus 4 for Pepsor to keep eyeballers alive in the bare minimum for this series.
You can see. You know, those spins are a 90% indicator that this game is over whenever you see those. But honestly, Apeks have figured out ways to lose some pretty difficult rounds, so maybe this can be a trend. No, JL is going to put an end to things here. No funny business for Apeks. That's a very strong result from right there from them. They make sure to capitalize. Apeks only getting, or Eyeballers only getting 6 rounds on their own map pick as well. This is a dominant result. And as I had said coming into the series here, it's off of a string of dominant results versus, I would say, much more difficult opponents here than Eyeballers. Yeah. They continue that here in the playoffs. Very good signs from them. And now, you know, you start to wonder, with this sort of momentum from Apeks, how far can they take this?
That's a really good point. Not too sure, because there's a lot on the line. They'll go on, actually, in the quarterfinals to face the winner of Big versus Harvu. So that is quite a scary best of 3 to walk into, but you've got the confidence coming off of that round of 16. And as mentioned, that wraps up today's games. Tomorrow, we've got the remainder of the round of 16. We've got Sangao into the breach. Then it is Big versus Harvu, iNation versus Nexus, and Copenhagen Flames versus LDLC. Plenty more best of 3s to bring you. We've also got South America going on. We've got Central Europe. CCT keeps on going. We're 24/7, baby. But that's it for now. You got any closing thoughts, Skull?
Oh, again, I'm excited to see what we have tomorrow. I think you and I will be back at the same time, same place. So, yeah, I mean, here's all the matchups that we haven't finished out. Still figuring out what the quarterfinals are going to be. Team Spirit Academy still making their way on through playoffs. Keep an eye on those guys, man. They are, they're forced to be reckoned with. They are reigning champs right now. So, it's always exciting to see these guys in the server. But yeah, we're going to be finishing off things here today. Again, we'll be back with you all once again tomorrow for those last 2 matchups. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. Do wish you all a wonderful night. And of course, on behalf of myself, production guys there in the back, and B-Dog, wish you all a wonderful night, and see you soon.
I have a very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One XBet.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.